What's up, guys? It's Jeff with an episode of Progressive Metal Workflows, where it is my mission to help you make better metal music. Today we'll be covering a technique I like to call the break-a-leg technique. It's a technique that uses a subdivision of time to throw off the beat and create a progressive feel to your riff. It's a simple 3-step technique, and I'm sure it will add a unique progressive spice to your riffs. We'll be using a burger and fries analogy to make it simple for you. In step 1, we're going to write the burger riff. In step 2, we're going to write the fries riff. And in step 3, we're going to dress them up. Let's take a look in Guitar Pro for a sample implementation of the break-a-leg technique. Let's go. So in step 1, we're going to write a riff in 4/4 time that can hold its own when repeated. It doesn't need to be anything complex, as the perceived complexity will come later in the riff. You'll see what I found this riff just noodling around on my guitar in drop D, and I thought it sounded good. So just listening to this riff by itself, it sounds like this. Which on its own, I think sounds pretty good. In this implementation of the riff, I have a build-up section. So let's listen to what it sounds like with the drums. Pretty good, but I think it can be better. Let's see what we can do in step 2. So in step 2, we're going to write the fries riff. This is where the perceived complexity comes in. The fries riff should be a subdivision of time that is of lesser value than 4/4. You can see in this case, I'm using 1/4, and it should also share elements from the burger riff. We're not looking for a burger and lasagna riff because that's not going to make any sense here, guys. In this case, I used some just open palm muted chugs and got away with some 16th notes for added complexity, but I think it works. So here I'm just going to highlight the burger riff, which is this, and then the fries riff is this little 1/4 section. This is the piece that adds the skip in the beat and allows perceived complexity to come into your riff. So let's just take a quick listen to what the riff sounds like so far. So here's the skip feel, and in the context of drums. Pretty cool. Don't be afraid to be creative here on step 2. The fries riff time signature could be like a 2/4, it could be a 3/8, it could be a 7/8. Any of those time signatures could potentially be effective in the context of your writing, in the context of your song. Have fun with it. So in step 3, we're going to dress the riff up. This is your chance to add your artistic flair to the break-a-leg technique. You can do anything like change the underlying beat to the riff. You can change dynamics. You can do metric modulation. You can do harmonic modulation. You can change palm mute patterns. Any of these things will add a unique flair to your riff and make it like that next level of spice and will sound really awesome. I find if you just pick a couple of those things in your musical toolbox and apply them to this break-a-leg technique, it'll really elevate the riff and make it like that much more noticeable, that much more interesting. And that's what we're really looking for. We're looking to make music that's going to speak to people. And this, in step 3, this is your chance to do that. In this particular implementation, I decided to keep it simple, only changing a few things. 1, I changed the palm mute pattern, and 2, I actually used a second implementation of the break-a-leg technique to create a build section and then a jam kind of groove section. So let's do a quick deep dive on my implementation of step 3, which is dressing the riff up. So in the break-a-leg build section, I have this small change in the palm mute pattern. So this is palm mute pattern 1. In this bar right here, I palm mute 0, 5, 6, 0, accent the 4, accent the 1, and this bar is the exact same. But in the second playthrough, I actually unpalm mute the 5 and the 6 chords on the second run through. It's a really small change, but it adds that next layer of spice to the riff, which is really going to make it stand out. So let's just listen to that in isolation. That's where the change is. One more time, right here. And let's add the drums. Notice the drums are kind of going along with that building feel. And the second part of my step 3 implementation of the break a leg technique is I just made a whole new implementation of the break a leg technique. I find this really effective. You're using the break a leg as a build-up, and then you can use it as a groove. I think it's a really nice combination, but this is, again, step 3 is where you have your chance to make your own artistic flair. So get fancy with it, have fun with it. But my implementation, I stole the same burger riff, but I also added another bar to the burger, kept the same fries riff here, and then on another run through, I changed the burger again with this little fancy thing here, and then run right back into the burger, small change here, and then use the fries again. So let's just listen to that in Guitar Pro once over. So again, really simple changes, but really effective outcomes. So I hope this video helps you get more creative when writing progressive music. Have fun with it. I think it works in a lot of different contexts. It can work in heavy sections, clean sections, all sorts of different applications, which I think makes it a really exciting writing technique. If you like this video and want to hear more from me, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Would love to hear your feedback. Would love to hear any implementations of this technique. I have a lot of really exciting things planned for the future, so please let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next episode.